Hello and welcome to this video about the Insta360 X5's Instaframe mode. I think this is a really important mode, Instaframe mode, and I'm going to talk about why. I'm also going to briefly discuss this 2-in-1 folding handle because I think when you're using Instaframe, the aim of Instaframe is to really film quickly, get stuff done and move on to your next shot. And this helps you do that, and I'll show you why at the end of the video. I've always enjoyed shooting 360, but if I do lots of clips, it means I'm spending a lot of time editing on my phone or on the desktop app. With Instaframe mode, I don't have to do that. I just take the card out and I've got my MP4s ready made to go. And this video here was made with Instaframe very quickly. Well, I'm testing out Instaframe. So that includes when I walk past the camera like you're seeing now. So I'm testing out Instaframe using the Insta360 X5 and the Mic Air on a hike, just seeing how useful and how good Instaframe is. So all the videos today and all the clips are going to be made exclusively with Instaframe. I'm going to be taking the MP4 versions, not going to be doing anything with 360 video, it's just going to be everything straight out of camera. So I'm using Instaframe to point the camera up, which is really quite interesting. And now I'm going to do a barrel roll, which is a nice little feature of Instaframe, doing barrel rolls. So now I'm using the camera to do the rear view, which for me is having the screen pointed towards me and facing forward. So this is the rear view. We're in quite a dark area now, so I'm not sure how good the image is going to be in this dark area because we can't use pure view. Apologies if I seem out of breath because that was a big hill I've just walked up. Now another thing you can do is you can do a 360-degree spin. So hopefully this becomes the end of the 360 spin. So I'm going down quite a steep hill now. So I was going down a steep hill and I've come to this bit and it's even steeper. Maybe it doesn't look that steep in the video, but trust me, this is very steep. So we are not at the bottom of the hill, we're about halfway, but this is just what I came down. And this is what I've got left to go, so really quite steep. So now I'm doing a shot that the camera is focusing downwards. This is equivalent really to me mode. So something I've done is I've just used my 2-in-1 selfie stick. So I've now got to the end of the trail and really I'm just going to go back the way I came. There isn't much use in filming the return journey. So I'm at the end of the trail. I've done my hike for the day and I'm just going to retrace my steps back to my starting point. So to access Instaframe, we go down to our mode and we scroll across. And maybe I've gone the wrong way and we get to Instaframe. Now Instaframe's really quite ingenious. I'm just going to hold this up so you can see the camera a bit better. So I've dropped the ISO down so we can see this a little bit better. So on Instaframe, we can click here and we can select our presets. In ratio, we can do 16:9 or 9:16. Resolution is fixed at 1080p, but we've got frame rates from 24 all the way to 30, and we can go for 5.7K or 5.7K plus. Now, when you use Instaframe, you will get a flat MP4 video that has been orientated and framed in camera. You won't need to do any reframing whatsoever, but you also retain the 360 video. So you've got to decide whether you want to go for 5.7K plus or just traditional 5.7K. Now, if we click here, we've got selfie view, and what this does is this will lock onto your face and it will immediately track your face. You've also got this button here that does a 360-degree spin, which while it might seem like a gimmick, is actually quite useful to do a 360 spin. And because the border goes around the edge, you know how long you've got left for the 360 spin. We've also got the same thing with a barrel roll, which again, I think is quite useful, even though it might seem like a gimmick. We aren't stuck to using selfie mode. We can also select one of these custom views. So we can have the camera point downwards as though it's in me mode, which is very similar to me mode. But but it's actually better than me mode because you don't need to do the export through the app or through the desktop studio. We can do a top view where it's pointing up. We can use the rear camera or the front camera as well. And we can also change the view here from narrow to mega wide. We've also got distortion correction we can turn on, and we can lock the horizon if we want. Now for me, Insta Frame is all about filming quickly and not having to spend a lot of time editing afterwards. And why this selfie stick is really good for using with Insta Frame is because at the bottom it has a pull-out tripod, so you can set it down and it's actually quite stable. And then if you pick it up, you can very easily just tuck the legs away. This is an actual selfie stick, so I can pull it out. It's not as big as the normal selfie stick, but I can extend it and still use it with a tripod on the bottom. So this makes things really useful to just put your camera down on the floor without it falling over, do some Insta Frame shots, and then move on to your next shot, which is exactly what I did in the hiking video.